Home buyers are going through housing hell right now, but that's likely going to change by the time we get to the end of this year. Stay tuned. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your #1 real estate resource here in beautiful Las Vegas. Hey guys, a couple of quick things before we dive into the video. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn the cold hard facts about the Las Vegas real estate market and real estate in general, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2, also make sure to give me a thumbs up like, guys. It would really help the channel out. And number 3, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's next month or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. Just call, text, or email me when that time is right for you, and I'd be happy to help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. So housing hell is a real thing, and just to prove it to you guys, I want you to take a look at some recent headlines that just came out in the news. Take a look at this first one here on screen. The housing market is so unaffordable that builders have no choice but to build smaller homes. 70% of renters won't consider buying a home this year. And 49% of U.S. households can't afford a $250,000 home. That is pretty depressing and scary information, proving once again that the real estate market is massively overpriced. And in the upcoming segments, I'm going to show you some new data points here to prove to you why being patient right now is the wisest of options. All right, so let's take a look at the first video segment coming up. It's about 45 seconds long. I want you to listen to the two people featured within these two interviews. They're both within the real estate industry. I'm going to circle back and comment on it after.
But things are changing. The people who are going out there and buying are finding they're overbidding. They're having a hard time getting their hands on the house. And right now, what everybody's afraid of is the high interest rates. But the minute those interest rates come down, all hell's going to break loose and prices are going to go through the roof. If interest rates go down by 2 points, it's going to be a signal for everybody to come back out and buy like crazy. And the house prices, I would not put it by the housing market that prices go up by 20%. We could have COVID all over again.
This 4-bed, 2.5 bath in San Jose is listed for $1.5 million. Still an eye-popping number for most of the country.
Is that a deal?
Yeah, I would say this is priced competitively.
California home prices jumped during the pandemic, but now with tech layoffs and remote work, they've declined.
So that's the kind of information that you see out there on a lot of different media outlets from people that are within the industry who are motivated by their own self-interest to tell you that the real estate market is in good shape or that home prices are going up. I do not believe that. I believe everything is overpriced. I think rates are too high. I think home prices are too high. And in the upcoming segments, you're going to see why being patient later this year is going to be a wise option for you if you're thinking about buying a home. All right, so let's take a look at this first article that just came out. I wanted you guys to take a look at it because it came out last week and it was really pretty shocking when I saw it pop up. Take a look at the headline here, which says, here's the house price you can afford on a 6-figure annual salary. The American dream of home ownership is fading fast. And boy, is that ever true. Take a look right down here as we scroll down. Right here in that blue highlight, let me read that to you guys. At the $100,000 annual income level, the family could only afford a home that cost $341,000. Yet only 39% of all U.S. homes for sale were listed below the $341,000 price level. That right there shows you how out of whack the entire real estate market is, because people do not earn $100,000 on average. Most families earn about $70,000 a year, so this is about $60,000 less than the average price point. That's why we need a reset to the real estate market, and I think that's going to be coming up sooner rather than later. All right, so let me talk to you guys for a second before I show you this very important chart. The peak of the real estate prices happened in May of last year. So May of 2022, we had peak real estate prices. On the back half of last year, right when we got to the holidays and the beginning of the year, the market dropped down about 10 or 15%. Now, as we've come through the first half of 2023, prices are starting to rebound because we get that popular spring-summer buying season. So I want to show you guys on this chart, especially now, why I think this real estate market is in what I call a classic head fake position and why prices are going to decline later this year and into 2024. All right, so pay close attention here because this is really the most important chart I've ever shown you guys in any of my videos. Take a look right here in the middle where this orange crooked line is. It's very small, but it's very important for you guys to see this here. This was about 2006-07, right here at the peak of the real estate market. Then it dropped down right in that little line. It dropped down and then it kind of flatlined and it almost went up a little bit right there before the entire market fell off a cliff. Now take a look at the present day. This is last year peak level prices. The last half of last year, we came down just a little bit right there. And now you see that little part going up because this little front part of the year, the first few months, it's starting to make a move back up. But that's kind of what happened right there in 2006 and 7, and then it fell off a cliff. That's what I think is happening here. It's kind of a little bit of a head fake, like it's going to go up, and then I think it's going to just drop all the way back down. I think this is going to be very similar, not the same or as bad as 2007 or 8 when that crash happened, but I think this is a head fake situation. When we get to the back half of this year, I definitely see prices going down maybe 10%, maybe even more. It's going to take a little while, but I think this is a head fake situation going on right now, and prices are definitely going to hit the wall and come down as we get to the end of this year. All right, so now let's drill down specifically into my neck of the woods here in Las Vegas. Now, this article that just came out is talking about the median home price so far in 2023. So let's take a look at the bottom left of this chart. The median home price here in Las Vegas in January was $425,000. February, same price. March, same price. Then in April, we had a slight tick up to $430,000. And now we've had a bigger tick up through the course of May at $442,000. But here's the thing. This is the same thing that happened last year. You get that popular spring-summer buying season, much more demand comes in, many more buyers, so prices go up. But then on the back half of last year, we saw a good 10% drop-off or more in the back half of this year in Las Vegas. I think this is going to be a carbon copy of what happened last year. In fact, we might get a bigger drop-off when we get to the very back end of this year. That's what I think is setting up for us, at least here in Las Vegas. All right, so even though home prices have ticked up during this popular spring buying season, there's still a lot of overpriced homes on the market, especially here in Las Vegas. So I want to show you a few examples here on the popular real estate website Zillow, starting with this example. Now, this home is obviously a luxury home. It's listed at $2.1 million that you can see right there on the top. But more importantly, take a look down here in that little gray highlight where I'm moving the arrow. A year ago at this time, the sellers tried to list this home for $2.865 million. There were no takers. This was the peak season back last year. There were no takers. They've reduced the price now to $2.1 million. That's a 30% price reduction since the peak of last year. So again, even though homes are selling during this popular spring buying season, if sellers do not have their homes priced properly, they are not going to sell. Let's take a look at the next example. All right, so let's take a look at this second example here. Now, this is a little bit lower price point than the first example. This home is listed at $800,000. This is a new modern single-story home. They did a price cut of $20,000 at the beginning of June, so they had this listed at $820,000. It's now $800,000. But more importantly, take a look right down there where I'm moving the arrow. About a year ago, they had this home valued at $918,000 at the peak level. Now, a year later, take a look at the Zestimate. This is the Zillow estimate as to what they think the current market value is, $772,000. So that's a 15% drop in the last year from the peak levels of last year. So again, homes have to be priced properly in order for them to move. And that's why this one has been reduced quite a bit, because again, they were trying to get last year's value. We are not at last year's value. These price points have come down, and I expect that to happen, especially on the back half of this year. Let's take a look at the last example. All right, so let's take a look at this final example here in Las Vegas. This home is listed at $575,000. They did a price cut at the beginning of June of $25,000. So this home was listed at $600,000. But again, take a look down here. About a year ago, this home was valued at $673,000. Now the present Zestimate, that's again the way Zillow estimates the current market value, they have this home estimated at $564,000. So in the course of 1 year, the prices dropped over $100,000 in value. So again, a lot of people love to say that there's no inventory and that prices are always going up in the spring and summer, but there's still a lot of overpriced homes, especially here in Las Vegas. You just have to know what to look for. But more importantly, the better option is to just wait things out, because again, I think prices are going to come down towards the back half of this year, and you're going to get better deals just like last year at the end of the year and into the beginning of 2024. So here's the deal, guys, and I really want you to pay attention to this because this is really important. Everything in life is cyclical, including real estate prices. I don't want you to buy into the hype like you saw earlier in the video that prices are only going to keep skyrocketing upward. That might happen over the long term, but nothing stays at a peak level. And right now, real estate prices and interest rates are again at peak levels. The bottoming out of the real estate market may take some time, but there is a down cycle definitely coming. I think that's going to come later this year. So again, if you can be patient and sit on the sidelines, I think that is the wise option. It is right now the busy buying season. I think the end of the year, things are going to change, especially into the beginning of 2024. So be patient if you can. So before we end today's video, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite comment from last week's video, and that goes to Lockup. Now you can see his comments here on screen that I'm just going to briefly summarize. He's pretty much in disbelief at the fact that people are still buying into this real estate market with how high home prices and interest rates are right now collectively, and he thinks that people have a sheep mentality. And he's really not wrong, because when you think about it, people that are buying into the spring-summer buying season right now are sending prices back up again because demand is getting strong. The best time to have bought a home was at the beginning of this year, and that's why I'm saying being patient into the back half of the year, especially during the holidays and the beginning part of the year, that's the better time typically to buy a home. And just remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave me a cool or creative comment down below, and of course, like the video. And my favorite comment from this week's video, I'm going to give a direct shout out to in next week's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I also hope you appreciate my transparency. Like I've said before, I'm always going to keep it 100% real on this channel regarding the overall real estate market, with specific emphasis here in Las Vegas. So like I said previously in the video, don't buy into the hype right now in this popular spring-summer buying season. Wait things out if you can. I think there's going to be better buying opportunities towards the end of this year and into early 2024. So with that said, guys, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's in a couple of months or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I know every inch of this city. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you guys in the next video.